Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to trim template A of the Nordic Gnome pattern, and I'm going to be showing you with both template A and also with my 60-degree ruler here. I prefer using creative grids, but if you have any of the other 60-degree rulers out there, it will also work, but this is just my preferred one. Okay, so the first thing that we need to make sure of when trimming template A is to make sure that we have the center of the nose marked. Here you can see the crease has been left over from when I sewed this piece here to this larger rectangle. And then I am going to take my template A and I'm going to line up the crease on the nose, which is the center of the nose, with this dotted line right here. And what I'm going to do is just what I like to do is I just line them up and then I kind of slide this down to make sure that that dotted line is right over the crease. And then since this is a straight line, I like to take my ruler and just kind of lay it on top of my template. And then I take my rotary cutter and trim that piece. And then what I like to do is actually kind of twist this around a little bit. And I lay my ruler right on top of that template again. And then I cut this side. And then I straighten this out again. And then we have a perfectly trimmed template A piece. And the next step of this would be sewing your background pieces to it. Now for trimming the template A piece using a 60-degree ruler, same thing, we need to make sure that we have that center of the nose marked. In this case, when I was pressing, it kind of went away. So what I'm gonna do is take this again and just give it a nice finger press. And that's gonna give me a nice crease right at the center of the nose. And then I'm going to take my 60-degree creative grids ruler and I'm going to use this center line right here. And once again, I'm going to put it right on top of that crease. And then I need to make sure that my 7.5 line is lined up at the bottom of this. So middle line lined up with the crease, 7.5 line lined up with the bottom of this unit, and then we just trim. And that's how you use your ruler to trim that. And the last thing I wanted to mention with these hat units of the Nordic Gnome pattern is that depending on your seam allowance or maybe your pressing and your fabric stretched, these units might come out slightly larger than they actually need to be. They should be 7.5 by 8.5, and sometimes they just come out just a hair larger. And so I like to go through them all and trim them if necessary. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So you take your ruler and you are going to be lining up the 4.25 line with this junction right here. And then if you have your crease on your nose, it will also be lined up at the 4.25 line. So 4.25 should run all the way down from this point right here to the crease down at the bottom. And then you'll line up your 7.5 line, 7.5 line with the straight edge at the bottom. So let's do that. And this 8.5 ruler by Creative Grids is really handy because it actually has the 4.25 line, but if yours doesn't, that's fine. You can just use the general markings. So let's run through it again. 4.25 here at this point, 4.25 on the crease, and then 7.5 on the bottom. And I just take my rotary cutter and run it through the edge. And as you can see, it's just a very small trim. And then we're gonna do this again, where it's the 7.5, 4.25, 4.25. And there we go. And like I said, it's super small, so it doesn't make a huge difference. But if you are going for super accurate units, it helps to do that quick trim on these.